story's not in the show notes, my lovelies. Oh, no. No, 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 no. But it did come to my attention. And I was told, hey, Kit, what's going on with AOC? AOC. AOC. That's right. Folks, AOC decided to make a huge grandstand. Okay. AOC decided to speak out, to fight. Not at Congress. No, she wasn't with her colleagues. Where was the solidarity, AOC? AOC was at home and then live streamed on the Instagram. That's what you call hitting them hard, right? All right. So what happened? What exactly went down? What went down with AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Well, a beginning is a very delicate time. So let's go ahead and pull this up here for everybody to see. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez skipping Trump's address, will live post instead. Representative AOC said she will not attend President Trump's address to the joint session of Congress. She was probably hiding from Homan. He's like, where's AOC? I actually paused on that and actually voiced it over. Like, where are you at, AOC? She said she'll be posting live about the speech on social media instead. I'm not going to the joint address. I will be live posting and chatting with you all here, the New York Democrats said, in a post on the social media platform Blue Sky. But what about Twitter? Then going on Instagram Live later, she added, using a popular shorthand for the social media platform Instagram. There you go. She said IG. Trump will head to Capitol for the first joint address of his second term on Tuesday night. So AOC decided to speak out. But what happened, AOC? Share with us. What is ongoing, AOC? What is happening? What's going on? What's going on? I know. I'm sorry. You must deal with this too.
Hey everyone, how's it going? We've got some post State of the Union chat. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hey everyone. Yeah, so State of the Union just happened. If you didn't watch it, God bless you. Protect your peace. Someone said, glad you stayed away. Me too. Yeah, I didn't go to all that. I knew that was going to be a mess. And personally, you know, I watched it from home. I paid attention to what the president was saying. I watched it, so you didn't have to. But so if you didn't, you know, that's okay. I watched the whole thing, but I watched it from home. Everybody makes different decisions.
And she chose not to be with her colleagues. I know. I see the comments in the chat. I only played this first part because it hurt. It really hurt to watch. At one point, I was in 2018 very excited to see her win. And then kaput.
I just felt like I couldn't.
And that is inexcusable because you're an elected representative. You're a lion. I remember when AOC was surprised when she looked at polling data after November 5th on how people voted in her district. Yes, her constituents voted for her, but also a good portion of them also voted for Trump. You're supposed to be the representative of your congressional district in New York City, AOC. Why weren't you there to represent your people? Because what? Trump triggers you?
I didn't feel like I could legitimize his presence. That being said, you know, I know different people had different takes on it. In terms of the House of Representatives, you know, I'll give you an alternative perspective. In terms of the House of Representatives, you know, some people feel, and it is true, that the State of the Union occurs in the House of Representatives, known as the People's House. And
It wasn't State of the Union, though. It was a joint session of Congress.
technically, in terms of the proceedings of the State of the Union, an interesting thing about the House is that it is different from almost every other chamber in that only House members are typically allowed in the House of Representatives. So anybody else that is brought into the House, that walks into the House, has to be invited. And so Trump actually has to be formally invited to the House floor in order to be allowed into the House floor. Same thing with all those senators and the cabinet members, etc. So, I think other people had a certain logic, which is that this is the people's house. And
that's what you call a word salad and an excuse. If you're not going to show up for your people, why should your voters and constituents support you? Okay. Now, what I'm playing here is a 53-minute long video, but I found some snippets for all of you to either mock at AOC, laugh at AOC, but just one more time, just her giving another excuse about why she shouldn't just show up and do her job.
Trump showing up should not kind of force the duly elected representatives of that chamber, especially those who disagree with him, out. So, that's some of the perspective there. Anyways,
here's her talking about how she ran against the Democrat machine.
Because I ran against the Democratic Party establishment, because I wasn't supposed to win, because they still tried to kick me out. Like I never took that for granted. And I do year-round organizing. And I'm not the only one. There are plenty of good members that I think sometimes don't get the attention that they deserve. And do really good work. But it's not just the party, it's like all of us.
So wait. AOC, you are part of a political organization and institution called the Democrat Party. You've seen firsthand how they screw over progressives and independents. During the last election cycle, I remember, or dare I say it, during the last midterm election cycle, I do remember interviewing so many progressives and independents that were running in the Democrat Party, especially during the 2019-2020 election cycle. The opening 2019 going through 2020, how a lot of progressive candidates who were running for the House or Senate were, oh my goodness, being roadblocked by Democrats. Where was AOC then? Where was AOC then also in 2022? Where was AOC and the Democrats, especially when they knew that old man Biden probably had some mental issues? Okay. And listen, the sauce is out. Everybody knows that something was wrong with Joe Biden. People in his administration knew. And you know what? I don't want to hear the excuse that AOC and Bernie Sanders didn't know, because they knew too. And yet, you're talking about how the machine was against you, but there was a point where you were raising the ruckus until finally you followed the orders and got in line. You followed the orders and decided to become a cheerleader for Democrats and stop helping out other progressives and independents. The squad isn't even the squad. And even when we asked the Democrats in 2021 to be part of Force to Vote, where were you then, Democrats? Where were you then? Oh, that's right. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be heard of. You were nowhere, Democrats. I want to pull this up here because now here's what AOC is talking about: Medicare or Medicaid. Brace yourself. I know it's going to get dumb. It's beyond dumb, actually. It's beyond stupid. So let's go ahead and pull this up here for everybody to witness as well.
The worst sin that can happen, in my view, the worst sin that can happen is that you accidentally gave someone health care. You accidentally let someone see a doctor. And that is like a crime, because why?
And of course, she says, mark my words, they're coming after your Medicare and Medicaid. You know, AOC, you and the Democrats had a lot of opportunities under the Biden-Harris administration to protect Medicare and Medicaid. Hell, you guys could have done something was forced to vote. I think you owe Jimmy Dore an apology.
Mark my words, they're coming after it. And all of that rattling off on Social Security and trying to frame Social Security as largely wasteful, this idea that there's like checks going out, tons of Social Security checks going out to dead people. No, no, no. Social Security monitors who passes away and processes who passes away. That doesn't mean they're cutting a check to people who pass away.
There's a helicopter in the background. I don't know if you heard that. That's Tom Homan going after AOC.
Monitors who passes away and processes who passes away. That doesn't mean they're cutting a check to people who pass away. And they are setting all of this up. They are trying to trick you. They're trying to trick your grandparents. They're trying to trick young people into thinking that it's all wasteful so that they can get away with cutting it to pieces. It's the same thing with.
Mm-hmm. And hold on. Let's get to stupidity. I'm sorry. One more moment of stupidity, and then the pain stops.
The one thing that I want people to think about is, even as a waitress, if any of you all else have gone like completely mad with every single job being a tipped job with an iPad screen now, like especially during COVID. I mean, it's even to the point where the freaking self checkouts at the airport get tip screens. If you are tired of that, I do think it's important for us to recognize the danger of every job becoming a tipped job.
You know what? Let me rewind this. For all those who fought for forced to vote, she owes an apology. She owes an apology to everyone who stood with forced to vote and marched for Medicare for all. All what I'm hearing here from here is word salads and excuse about why she didn't show up to Congress, why you didn't do your job. Now, one would think that a titan like AOC, who has name recognition and millions of followers, would actually have the courage to step up and do the right thing, to step up and actually be aggressive and fight. But when you sell out to the Democrats, this goes for the two-party system as a whole. When you sell out to the two-party system and are part of it, you stand for nothing because then people see you for who you truly are.
And all of us then now having to pay each other's wages, not just in waitressing, not just in bartending. I'm talking about everything, everything. And I think it's just a precipice that we all need to think about, because it's not, there's a very careful and slippery slope here that we just need to pause and consider, because then we can very easily enter a world where no one is paid, where like no one's employer is like actually paying their wages, and we're all just tipping each other and essentially GoFundMeing the entire economy.
We're already there. The economy is so beyond screwed, but who knows? Maybe things could turn around. But that's AOC's reasoning and speech in response to Donald Trump. Nothing earth shattering or authentic there, just more of the same madness, madness, and stupidity, ignorance across the board. And this is somebody who once had the showering praise of a lot of people on social media. I think AOC is now viewed as a very polarizing figure, and her not showing up tells me that what? Are you afraid of Donald Trump? I mean, does he live rent free? When you choose not to do something, when you choose to be afraid, when you choose to hide in your house or under a rock or wherever because somebody out there is against you or giving out negative or bad vibes, bad energy, well, then you're letting them win. You're letting them win. But when you still keep pushing forward and do your job, you're beating them. That's the best revenge. Success. The best revenge is knowing that no matter how many times you're kicked down, you keep on winning. But oh, wait, if you can't get up, if you're afraid, what does it say about you? And if AOC is afraid to show up to a joint session of Congress, what does that say to her constituents? You're afraid to show up. You didn't want to show up. You just didn't want to legitimize him. Well, too bad. Trump is the president. There I go. Hey, I'm being clear here. Trump is the elected president of these, guess what? United States of America. He's the president. It's over. It's done. He's the president. We got to move on.org. But Democrats, you can't move on. And all this grandstanding, all this excuse, you have nothing. And yet the remnants of your most diehard followers are wondering, what are you running on? Why are we waiting? Get ready to wait some more.